Did you know that 97.5% of all water on Earth is salty? It's beautiful, but not very useful. We can't drink it, can't water our crops with it, and can't use it in most factories. And yet, in some places, that's all there is, just the ocean.
Well, just take the salt out and you're good, right? Not exactly, it's a bit more complicated, I admit.
Welcome to AMAN-WATER, where every drop counts. Today, we dive into the world of desalination. How do we turn seawater into fresh water, and at what cost? Imagine a country with no rivers, no underground aquifers, just sand and the sea. That's the case in many regions: the Gulf countries, North Africa, some islands, southern Spain, Australia. And in those areas with growing populations, tourism, and agriculture, water is under pressure. So when fresh water is lacking, the only option left is to use what's in front of us, saltwater.
Okay, but let's not kid ourselves. Desalination is expensive, and not just for your wallet, but for the planet too.
Exactly. Before calling it a miracle solution, we need to understand how it works, and more importantly, what the consequences are. The idea is to heat seawater until it evaporates. Then, we capture the steam, cool it down, and voila, fresh water. It's like boiling water and catching the steam on a cold window. That's distillation. In industry, it takes the form of large plants called multi-effect distillation, MSF, multi-stage flash distillation. These plants are mainly found in Gulf countries, where energy is cheap and abundant.
But it's slow, and uses tons of energy.
Exactly. It's a robust technology, but very energy intensive and hard to scale down. Second method, reverse osmosis. This is the most widely used method today. No heating here, we simply put seawater under very high pressure, forcing it through a superfine membrane. This membrane lets water molecules pass through, but blocks the salt.
You're a water molecule? Go ahead, you're in. And you, salty lump? Nope, turn around.
It's more energy efficient than thermal methods, but it still has some challenges. The membranes are fragile, pre-treatment is essential, and the brine waste is highly concentrated. So each method has its advantages and limitations. Let's now follow a drop of seawater through a real reverse osmosis plant. Buckle up, it's quite a journey. Step 1. Seawater is pumped from the ocean, usually a few hundred meters from the shore. It passes through screens to block large debris, algae, and sand, with low pressure pumps. Before even touching the membranes, the water must be perfectly prepared: coagulation, flocculation, sand filtration, carbon filtration, the works.
Membranes are precious. If you want them to last, your water needs to be spotless.
Exactly. It's like putting the water through an obstacle course, keeping only what's truly clean. Now we step it up. Powerful pumps push the water to 60, sometimes 70 bars, that's huge. That pressure is what forces it through the membrane. The water enters the famous reverse osmosis modules, large cylinders with membranes rolled up inside like spirals. Inside, fresh water passes through. The salt stays behind and comes out as a highly concentrated brine, called reject or brine. The water we get is very pure, too pure, actually. So we remineralize it, adding some calcium, some magnesium to make it drinkable.
Without minerals, it's like dead water, flat and flavorless.
Finally, we disinfect it, with chlorine or UV, depending on local standards. On the other side, we're left with brine, water even saltier than the sea. It needs to be discharged carefully, often back into the ocean, sometimes after dilution.
Looks like salt soup. Yeah, I'm not drinking that.
It's a sensitive step, and we'll come back to it. Yes, desalination works, but it's not cheap, for your budget or the environment. On average, producing 1 cubic meter of fresh water by desalination costs between 50 cents and $2. The price depends on the technology used, the cost of energy, the quality of the source water, and the scale of the plant. As for energy, it's heavy, between 3 and 6 kilowatt-hours of electricity per cubic meter of freshwater. Compare that to conventional freshwater treatment, only about 0.3 kilowatt-hours.
The water may be fresh, but the bill stings a bit.
Some plants are now combining desalination with renewable energy, solar, wind, or solar thermal, saving up to 40% in energy use. Desalination is a technological achievement, but it raises important environmental concerns. The brine, concentrated, hot, sometimes full of treatment chemicals, can disrupt marine ecosystems. And if the plant runs on gas or coal, the carbon footprint adds up. Not to mention the chemicals used to clean membranes or disinfect water. They also need to be managed carefully.
Desalination is a solution, a technical response to a vital need, having water where there is none. But it's also a choice, one with a cost, an impact, and that requires trade-offs. So yes, we can produce water from the sea. But maybe before we go that far, we should learn to better manage every drop we already have.
And now, grab a glass of water and stay hydrated. If you're into this topic, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and come with us to explore the world of water.